In this video, I'm going to explain 5 reasons that you want to get into the sauna to 10x your bedroom health and performance. And I'd also like to elaborate on what you can do to make sure that you get the benefits and none of the consequences, aka passing out, aka causing too much stress, or worse, all the adverse effects of the reasons that I want to explain to you in this video. Now, I'm obviously going to tap out, or my camera is going to tap out, but I'm going to go from a sauna to a cold plunge. I'll take you with me, so we're going back and forth, but today's video is mainly about the sauna and why you want to do it to improve your bedroom health and performance. Number 1, hormetic stress. This is, I guess, a controversial topic because there are so many different ways you can experience stress, but the specific stress I'm talking about is something that you can adapt to. Now, I'm speaking of more or less a healthy stress. I'm not talking about going out on the weekend, getting pissed and thinking that, you know, you're adapting to be able to handle more alcohol. No, I'm not talking about poisons or toxins or delusion. I'm talking about things that are more or less biological adaptations that we're able to hack. In some circles it's known as biohacking, and you get the upside of the benefits. The beautiful thing I like to think about with hormetic stress, and if it's a healthy hormetic stress, is it difficult to do now to get the benefits later? Or if it's not a healthy stress, or not a healthy hormetic stress, is it easy to do now that you will suffer the consequences later? So that works perfectly with the example that I said before with drinking, right? Drinking is easy to do now, get the benefits now, feeling good, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a hangover later and feel like crap, and you're less optimal for the rest of the week or your life if you continue. Anyway, with sauna, I mean, sure, it's comfortable in the beginning, you're in a nice warm space, but if you're, I guess, using it to adapt in a more beneficial way to 10x your life, and in this case your bedroom, you essentially want to push yourself to the limits, including sweating your balls off, like me right now. So why is a hormetic stress necessary for the bedroom? I can't even see if I can see me anymore. Hang on. The camera's gonna fog up. So, hormetic stress. If you think about your sexual experience on a spectrum of the nervous system, you've got your parasympathetic side, or the relaxed side, a side that you literally need to get erect at all. Essentially, a side of the body or the nervous system that is signaling to your body that survival is taken care of. There is no stress, there is no immediate threat, therefore you can relax, you can chill the fuck out. And in other words, it's okay to procreate or be vulnerable, such as sex, and get freaky. The body's going to give you resources, including the blood flow to the D, to actually make it happen. But on the other side, there is the sympathetic side. So the stress side, or the intense side. Believe it or not, you need this side to climax. So really, intercourse is a sliding spectrum from one side to the other, right? So you start off nice and relaxed, you get hard, you get nice and intense, and as you can imagine, things speed up, right? Things feel good. Holy shit. So, just like right now. And if you're able to push the perspective, right, you're able to reset what stress is to your physiology and your mental and emotional state, right? If stress to you is having a small argument with a partner or someone, your tolerance for stress is pretty low. I'm sure we could all agree with that. But if you're in a sauna and there is a temp that is literally like life or death, your stress, if you can push the limits to adapt, you can really push that perspective, physiological, mental, and emotional, all the way out, so that the sliding spectrum has a lot further to go. Therefore, you've got more control. You can stay harder for longer. And in some cases, you can actually increase the size, because size has so much to do with your ability to maintain calm. If you're in a stress state, all the tissues systemically, including locally to the lad, tighten up, which is really the opposite of what you want when you're pursuing any type of goal to do with increasing size. All right, that was the first point, hormetic stress. a fantastic way to stress yourself out, like I'm doing at the moment. So give me one sec. Joe Rogan, you're a beast. And he's got his cranked at like 110. I think it's the humidity that hits, and then as soon as the humidity passes, it goes all right. It's a little bit drier. Second reason is increased blood flow. Now, many people might not even know this, but increased blood flow comes about from muscles relaxing, right? So you've got your blood vessels that are literally contained. So all your arteries, veins, even capillaries, they are contained within a muscle, and around that, certain tissues that need to relax in order to enlarge, or in other words, dilate, get bigger, allowing for more flow. The exact same is for the D. That is literally how you get erect. The tissues tighten up down there. You go to a flaccid size because the muscles inside of the tissues tighten up and constrict any of that passing blood. Not all of it, obviously, otherwise, it'd fall off. Long story short, the chemicals around the body to increase blood flow relax those particular tissues. Heat is another form of relaxant to the body. Obviously to a limit, until you pass out or something else happens, but it is a great way to increase your cardiovascular capacity through blood flow. So it not only relaxes all the tissues, opens up, dilates everything, so there's more blood flow. But just imagine if your blood contains nutrients, there is more nutrients available to all of the body. Take a specific area of your body that maybe is injured. Usually inflammation occurs, and inflammation in of itself is swelling, and swelling pushes up against any of those blood vessels, and as you guessed it, constricts. So it does the opposite of what is, causing that relaxant and more blood flow. So even if you have an injury, every case is dependent on the individual as well. So just keep that in mind. This is not, across the board prescription here. So this in of itself is a way to increase blood flow naturally alongside causing a hormetic stress. Technically speaking, and I think it speaks into why it is so closely correlated to the equivalent of having done a cardio session, right? There are so many health markers that improves that is very similar to doing cardio in the gym, right? So you get all the upside as well. It's very relaxing. You don't really get to, or you don't have to do much, but if you do push yourself to the limits, it's difficult nonetheless, right? I'm trying to do a video, and now I'm like considering whether or not this was a good idea. That was point number 2. How many points did I say I gotta do? Man. Oh, nah. I gotta fucking tap out here. Holy shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Bro, fuck. Oh, man. Okay. You sit there, man. I'll be back. Oh, motherfucker. Look at this bad boy. Look. Mother. This is one of my fears. Oh, shit. Dude, this is one of my fears with cold plunges. Getting fucking shanked or sliced. Oh. Yeah. Ice is clear, remember? If you don't see ice on the top, just get in slow. I think a lot of people think getting in faster is key, just getting it over and done with. But there is a piece right next to me that I reckon if I put my leg in fast enough, I thought I cut my hand just then. But it's alright. I've got some bugs next to me that are casualties of the cold plunge. This motherfucker didn't make it. He's either died of the cold or he got shanked. Oh, what a head rush. Alrighty, the third reason is improving your immune system. Now, this kind of relates to the hormetic stress in a way, because the stronger your immune system, technically the stronger you are adapted to a different form of stress. Supposedly through heat shock proteins, you become, more immune to different stresses and your body's ability to, fend off bacteria. So you essentially just become a more resilient human being. And if you're more resilient overall, more adapted to stress, again, that physiological adaptation, gives you that broader spectrum on your nervous system, which is, strongly associated to the bedroom. Everything from improved hardness, improved stamina, and additional benefits to size, if that is one of your goals as well. All right, I didn't tap out, neither did my camera, or at least didn't overheat. My battery ran out, so here we are. Now, point number 4, detoxification. It kind of speaks into the other point of improving immune system, but the more frequent and consistent you are with the sauna, the more you're going to gain in a stronger immune system, essentially being able to fend off. Instead of, with this case, detoxification, you're essentially getting rid of potential toxins and chemicals held in the body. Now, this is an amazing function of the body, but it is stress nonetheless to the body. And like I spoke about in the beginning of the video, your overall bodily stress on a systemic level needs to be considered when it comes to the bedroom, because the bedroom and your health and performance in the bedroom has everything to do with stress and your state of your nervous system. The calmer you are, the calmer your mind and body is, the calmer you are when it comes to the bedroom, you'll be able to get harder, last longer. And again, if you've got size goals, it's going to contribute to that dramatically. So detoxification, a sauna is a great way to speed up that process. And I'll get into points later in the video just to make sure that you don't do it too quick, kind of like drinking poison, but doing it too fast, too soon. Like if you had to drink poison, I know it's a weird analogy, but if you had a glass of poison that you could choose to drink over 30 days or one day, I think just to be on the safe side, you'd probably do it over 30, right? Unless you just wanted to get it over and done with without killing yourself, it'd probably be a little bit sooner. Why I say that is because you need to think about this with a sauna. It can speed up the process. So I'll get into it later in the video, but just a quick tease. Slower is better, just to gradually pick it up. Now, if you're able to get through something such as chemicals, toxins that your body's been holding on to for a while, it's going to lower your overall stress levels, because your body knows that it's not going to have to go through all that stress, or use up resources to clear all those chemicals and toxins. Now, some people don't even think about getting sick or getting a cold like this. A lot of people think that they're in an environment that then, they get it from something. But sometimes, or maybe even most of the time, that cold, that flu, that, sickness may have been put on the back burner. Your body may have been due to have this, let's call sickness a clearing, all right? Your body has had this clearing due for a long time. And a sauna can not only speed up that detoxification process, but it's another form of relaxant, depending on how you're using it. So you could essentially bring this due clearing a lot sooner and faster. So just keep that in mind, but try to think of it like a necessary evil. Essentially, you're taking maybe a few steps back to then take 10 steps forward. And especially when it comes to the bedroom, when your body on a systemic level knows that it doesn't have crap on the back burner, just imagine how much lighter you will feel, right? And that's directly going to contribute to the bedroom. Point number 5 is increasing testosterone. This one's a little bit up for debate. If you check out the studies, there is some that says it does and some that say it doesn't. I like to think of the sauna as more or less an assist. All right, I can't say for sure, but if you use the sauna, like I mentioned in point number 1, the hormetic stress, think about all the points, really. The points so far, adapting to hormetic stress, so your perspective physiologically is just on another level, improved blood flow, better immune system, and just flushing out any of the crap that your body may be holding onto for you to keep you safe for the time being. That overall lowered cortisol overall and improved bodily function and healing, no wonder your testosterone is going to be higher. Okay, testosterone is so strongly correlated to levels of cortisol. The higher your cortisol, the lower your testosterone. The lower your cortisol, usually the higher your testosterone. So even if this is just an assisting tool, it is definitely going to increase your testosterone nonetheless. And I don't think I have to spell out testosterone and how it's going to benefit the bedroom. Harder, lasting longer, definite increase in size. Not to mention your libido, your motivation, your dopamine levels, again, strongly correlated to levels of testosterone. Just your motivation for everything to do with life, including seeking that spicy senorita to get into the bedroom if you don't have one already. Now let's get on to the 5 things that shouldn't take too long, but it's going to make sure that you get all the up with none of the down, okay? Step number 1 is progressive overload. I speak about this in so many other ways, including the gym, including increasing your size, but it is applicable literally anywhere in life and including the sauna. So do things slowly, okay? If you have the availability to do it many times a week, maybe try not to start straight away many times a week. Even start with 1 session a week, then 2, then 3, then 4, and you do this in a way so that you're still pushing the limits in those sessions, but it is definitely going to give your body the ability to adapt to, like I said in point 1 for the reasoning, is adapt to that hormetic stress and thus actually get better. Being able to push that perspective of stress and make sure that it's not necessarily trauma, but a stress nonetheless that your body's going to get better at dealing with, and you're just going to keep pushing the limits and keep getting better and better. And point number 2, pretty obvious one, stay hydrated, but especially not just water. I'm not even gonna go into no fluoride, or just filter your water. Good quality water, but get your electrolytes in there as well, because heat can definitely do some crazy stuff with stripping electrolytes as well as fluids. So I personally prefer coconut water, but also be careful with that. You don't want to be guzzling way too much coconut water. I've heard of some pretty severe consequences with too high levels of potassium and to do with the heart, so just be careful of that. So maybe have a mix of filtered water and coconut water just to balance things out. Maybe even with your filtered water, just add some really good high quality salts, such as I personally prefer Redmond's sea salt. Tip number 3 is be mindful. I mean, what an amazing additional place where you get to practice being mindful, being in your body. So when you're in the gym, for example, I personally love what is typically known as, I guess, bodybuilding movements. Things that aren't necessarily too explosive, too fast. The thing that I really fell in love with typical bodybuilding movements is, even if they're compounds, so take a deadlift for example, is when I'm doing it slowly, I get to sink into my body and really move very precisely, slowly, feel every muscle engaging. I really like that. Now, you can do something very similar with the sauna, but especially when you're starting to push the limits and you really need to actually give energy and attention to being able to stay in the moment and being present, and obviously not pushing the limits to passing out, getting dizzy, and potentially increasing the risks of sauna. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised on how much you can handle. For example, if you had the narrative or even perspective of such a low level of stress that is like too much, even just getting into the sauna, anything like above 80 degrees, like you might freak out if you start perspirating too much, or you even feel a light head rush, which is quite common. I'm not talking about full-blown dizzy like you're about to pass out. If that's the case, get the fuck out of there. But with sauna use, and definitely in combination with cold therapy like cold plunges, you're pushing and pulling blood. Think about that. You're pushing and pulling blood away and toward organs. So of course there's going to be a head rush, especially with your brain. But being able to face that stress and rebuild the narrative or rewrite something saying, I'm okay. Like, just because this is happening right now, I'm not gonna die. I will be safe. I have hydrated. I have slowly built up my sessions to be able to handle more and more. This is not like I'm doing the 5th session of my entire life, and I've just done back to back. Like, just be smart about it, and to be able to know that sometimes you need to fight those emotional cues with a little bit of logic to be able to sink back into the present moment again. But that's why I love the sauna, is it's just another way, just like the gym and hopefully other modalities that you are doing in life, just to practice that mindfulness. You know, it's one thing to meditate and be able to sink and, you know, watch your thoughts, but to put your body in such a state of stress, including cold therapy, another great way to be mindful is you're receiving physiological stress cues from the body and then being able to bring your mind into it to tell your body everything is okay. I think sometimes this is even more powerful than sitting in a state where the body isn't necessarily under any stress. I think each have their places and definitely play massive roles, and I think you should probably do both. But I'm just saying how powerful the sauna can be when you use it like this. Point number 4 is using the sauna post-workout. This one is up for debate a little bit. However, personally, let's call it anecdotal evidence for now. Now, why I'm saying this, like, what does this have to do with the bedroom? Really, if your overall stress levels, again, are at an all-time high because you work out, I hope, you work out on a regular basis and you're just pulling up sore. Let's say you're just taking care of all the things that you can, nutrition, sleep, everything else, but you pull up a little bit sore. To the body, that's technically stress. If you're tight, if you're sore, technically to the body, that's a threat. So usually your body will be on higher alert. Technically higher stress levels, and to be able to calm that back down. I'm all for obviously hormetic stress and recovery, but if you are able to use these modalities to speed up healing, all right, the faster you heal, the faster you can gain, but also you're going to lower overall stress levels and thus directly contribute to the benefits in the bedroom, such as, once again, better hardness, better stamina, and if it's a goal of yours, increased size as well. Not to mention, like we already said, lower stress levels, higher testosterone, and all of those benefits. Now, I've definitely found, again, anecdotal, N of 1, and the studies kind of contradict each other, but there are studies out there that say it's a definite benefit. I personally have found massive benefits of doing post-workout sauna use. And I also, this is also up for debate, but I also use cold therapy. And it's said that doing cold therapy post-workout is definitely not good because of its mechanisms and functions of shunting blood, pulling blood and technically nutrients away from the muscles, decreasing recovery rates. I personally think that when I've used it in conjunction or combined it with sauna use, I've been able to get the benefits of the cold plunge, but none of the potential risks of pulling those nutrients and blood flow away from the muscles that need to be relaxed, open, and full of blood flow. So I definitely make sure that I finish, all right? So I might not be getting all the benefits with cold plunging, but I think I get most of them, and used alongside sauna, I almost get that, you know, almost sped up a pushing and pulling of the blood. So I'm increasing blood flow dramatically. So I've personally found I've recovered faster and thus lowered my overall stress, and thus, again, benefited in the bedroom. And the last one, pretty obvious one, but I think it's worth putting it as a point nonetheless, is just make it a habit. Just like working out. Imagine if this is a thing you did, you know, on a daily basis. There are now studies that are proving that sauna use, the more regular, the more consistent you are, decrease mortality risk. Like, these are pretty staggering numbers. I don't want to relay them because it changes quite dramatically, but it's no wonder. And I think how the sauna is so strongly correlated to similar benefits of just doing cardio, but also so many other benefits as well, it makes so much sense. And like anything with these crazy benefits, to get the benefits, you need to stay consistent. Don't just do a sauna session and then call it a day for, you know, the next 3 months. I honestly believe with now the compelling studies that are out there, like, just treat this as almost another workout, but without necessarily getting the downsides of working out for 2 hours, right? You're probably going to suffer in that regard. There is also too much of a good thing. But this is yet another modality that you can add, you can stack to all the good things you're doing in life already, such as working out and doing a bit of cardio, but this is also stacking on top of those. Sauna can benefit your working out and cardio and sleep and so many other things. So I think it's a good thing to stack if you can and add to your lifestyle if you have time for it. So see if you can make it a habit. I personally believe if you can get a hold of a traditional sauna, they are quite costly, but I've found a local place near me that has one. I have had infrared saunas in the past, but I just found that EMF levels can be crazy high depending on the one that you actually have. And obviously the cheaper it is, potentially the higher levels of EMF you're going to find. There are some brands out there, some YouTube channels even, that discuss the EMF levels with particular brands and different types. So if you are interested in getting an infrared sauna, maybe check those out. Maybe even get some meters. But if you want to go completely no EMF, traditional, honestly, I personally feel as someone that is, I think, considered EMF hypersensitive. I really think everyone is, but anyway, it is just so relaxing, and I think for good reason. You literally have wood that is heating up the rocks, that is heating up this environment inside the sauna. Smells good, feels good. I think it's definitely the way to go if you've got access to one. So hopefully this video helped to maybe motivate you to get in the sauna. Maybe even try it out if you haven't already. Maybe you do it very sporadically. Hopefully it motivates you to get more consistent with it and get the benefits. And just take notes. See how this affects you in the bedroom. Really see if the more consistent you are, on top of gaining all the benefits outside of the bedroom, depending on obviously how consistent you are in the bedroom to monitor the benefits, just see what it does. Now, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Even if all the sauna did was just help you relax a little more, just that alone is going to contribute to the bedroom. Now, I hope this video helped, guys. For more content like it, check out totalmanperformance.com, and for all your devices plus courses, check out totalmanshop.com. As always, guys, be the man you know you can be. I'll see you in the next video.